parang you're checking on that fifth group. Ito on checks and balances. But this group that's in there, just for everybody to know, has this power. They can always say, hindi, ito off, ito off, ito off. Tabi muna natin yan. We will, but they still have a role. They have to declare a president.
And
based on what they find,
findings or the results made by the canvassing, by the Board of Canvassers has to be approved by both Senate and House in joint session.
Yeah. So, no, I can appreciate it now. While this group pala has all this power, they can just decide pala, okay, let's say there's 20 pieces of documents that have the tallies. Sabihin nila, okay, 12 or 14, kunwari, or 70% is wrong. It's erroneous, may problema. They can decide on the last 20-30%. From here, we will decide kung sino talaga nanalo.
Yes.
Kasi ito na lang nakikita natin. Yung iba, mag-protest kayo. Ganun talaga. So this group really has the power, but they also have the responsibility that they need to declare a president on or before the end of a certain period. And that is June 3rd. So we are actually only giving the president 3 weeks. Kaya ba ng presidente to actually... So right now, because ako nakikita ko po, no, ang dami nangyayari sa Congress that people maybe are not understanding. For example, the president that's come in is now, it's no longer Lakas, Campi, CND. It's now the Liberal Party kasi opposition yung nanalo eh. So may bagong alliances yan. These alliances are not easy. Di ba nag-uusap lahat yan eh, mga congressmen. Meantime, you've got the executive who's the president, apparent, Noynoy Aquino, who's got to work and create his group around him. Normally, the people who've helped him, those who helped in his campaign, who believed in him, trusted him, and for him, those he has in confidence, di ba, that he has confidence of. He has to create all of that, and then, given only 2-3 weeks, you have to create your State of the Nation address already to give a direction. The State of the Nation address is basically the direction of what you're going to be doing, especially the very first, in the next 6 years.
Well, actually, based on media reports, the president apparent.
Yeah, I love the term, apparent. Ako, I always thought elect lang. May apparent pa pala bago maging elect.
Si Noynoy Aquino is doing already what a president-elect is supposed to do. May mga releases na who are the possible cabinet secretaries.
Yes, we've read that.
And I also assume that he is already preparing for his State of the Nation address, and he is also preparing for his legislative agenda, plus the things which he have to do when he formally assumes the presidency.
Let's go to the House. Speaker Belmonte, so they say, is going to be the new speaker, but he doesn't have the numbers, being that the Liberals are not that many. Unless a coalition which is supposedly forming with the Nacionalista. What happens now to the group? For example, you're with Lakas. What happens to Lakas now, even though you're majority? If a new coalition is formed. For you, example, why should you stay in Lakas and not move? In other words, I know you, ayaw mo maging political butterfly. Eh. Your feet are on the ground and pinaninindigan mo kung ano yung sinasabi mo at position mo. Now, but shouldn't you move? If you're, for example, in your case, you won in your area, you're a re-electionist, you're with Lakas Campi, you delivered what you were asked to do, you were a good soldier, and you believe in the groupings also. Why aren't you moving to the other side? Is it good for congressmen to move to the other side to have the winning president? Or, for example, mag-liberal party na tayo lahat? Or it's not necessary?
Well, for my part, I think it is not necessary. Number one, the perception is, insofar as the congressmen are concerned, if we will be joining the Liberal Party, number one, it is possible that the original members of the Liberal Party might not like us. We might not be welcome to them.
It goes that bad. May personalan ba yan?
No, it's possible. Number two,
okay, possible.
whether we have to admit it or not, we will be considered as second-class citizens. Not to mention the public criticism that we shall be considered as political butterflies.
But it's pragmatic. It's good that you join whoever is the sitting president to give more support.
Yes, but the trouble is that we can also have the benefits if we should have a coalition with them. Because we know for a fact that the Liberal Party right now has roughly around 43 incumbent congressmen.
And they need
Have to
alliances.
form alliances with the Nacionalista, with the NPC, and with the Lakas and other groups, no matter how small they are.
So the minorities grouping together has to become a majority.
Definitely.
But the majority right now, which is still, it's still Lakas, Kampi. Am I correct? Is it
Yes,
still?
it is
Until
still.
now, kasi over 100 pa rin kayo.
Over 100.
Over 100. So if you stay your position and stay there, it is politically correct also. Hindi kailangan pumunta kayo sa kabila.
Hindi kailangan.
Eh kung hindi bigay sa inyo yung PDF, yung sinasabi ng mga iba, is it true na naayos ng presidente last year na hindi na mangyayari? Kasi yan ang reklamo ng mga party list, di ba? Yung mga
Well, of course,
sa
there is a
opposition.
provision that there is no impoundment of our
Can the new president
For
say,
barrel.
hindi pwede, impound ko yan.
No, actually, it's not a case of impoundment. What we have been saying before, the power of the pars belongs to the Congress of the Philippines. In as much as Congress of the Philippines
Agreed.
is the one making the budget or the
Yes,
appropriations.
sir, but the one releasing it is
The power to these bars
is the executive.
belongs to the president.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
therefore, the president can always allege that it is true that there is an appropriation, but the trouble is that there is no cash available. There is no budget. And therefore,
redirect funding.
and we cannot, because we are always on a shortfall, on a deficit. We never realize our targeted income. And that is the reason why we always have deficit every year.
Kaya ganun ang nangyayari. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take a short break. I hope you're following our conversation. What we're trying to do here is trying to make you understand and appreciate exactly what we've been doing here in GNN, trying to show to you what's going on in Congress. Now, over and above that, exactly what will be happening in Congress when they start creating alliances. This is what you call democracy at work. Now, if you stay with us, we will talk some more on these issues and talk about the new alliances that need to be made and what we can expect in what we call the next session or what we call the 15th Congress. Stay with us, we'll be right back. We're back and we're still discussing even as we took that short break. I'd like to take you all now together with our guest, Congressman, re-electionist, Pidi Barzaga, Attorney Pidi Barzaga from Dasmariñas, Cavite, an astute politician, a professional, a person of expertise with the law, and a man I know and a good friend who I know talks straight on the level, off the cuff, walang paligoy-ligoy. Now, Congressman, we've got the 15th Congress coming on. It's already July by the time the session starts, which is the third week, or July 26, the third Monday of July. Now, I know that every year, naiipit-ipit po yung budget natin. That is the first and mandated role of every legislator to pass the budget. But before Congress can get hold of the budget, di ba, it's got to come from the executive.
Yes.
So sila muna magpo-propose, ito gusto namin gastusin, ito yung breakdown namin, and then hihimayin ng Kongreso. Ideally, this year, i-itemize, hindi na ilalump sum, gaya nangyayari year after year. But you're only given how many months by the time the executive gets together, parang hindi kaya ang iksi ng oras by the time you get the budget. If you get it by the end of September, you'll be lucky. Then it'll be October. And then magmamadali na naman. Kasi how do you itemize in 2 to 3 months? And then dadaan pa sa butas ng karayong, which is called the Senate. How is that possible?
Well,
Kaya parang nahihirapan tayo sa sistema.
Well, actually, may procedure naman kami sa Kongreso sa House of Representatives. We create various subcommittees.
Para tackle iba-iba.
Tackle. Ito ang sa agriculture, ito ang sa finance, ito etc. And then after the subcommittee hearings, kino-consolidate namin yan, pinapresent namin sa floor.
Last year, it took about 3.5 months, close to 4 months. And then namadali ang Senado. Ang Senado had only a month, but they were trying to do their job ahead of time. Nevertheless, lumampas pa rin ng Disyembre. we came in, the budget was finally approved, I think, January. End of
January.
January. Di ba? Parang ganun nangyari. When really, it's supposed to be January 1. Ideally.